Entertainment.
Welcome to the World Wrestling Federation Superstars of Wrestling. Hello, everyone. I'm Vince McMahon, along with wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino, and, of course, joining us, Jesse the Body Ventura. We have lots of exciting wrestling matches headed your way this week. Here we go. Superstars of Wrestling, scheduled to join us so else than Mr. Wonderful himself, Paul Orndorff. Also to join us, Koko Beware. And then from there, yes, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, also on hand. And a tag team matchup you won't believe. It's Rick Martel, Tom Zeke, the Can-Am Connection, to meet the magnificent Muraco and his tag team partner, Cowboy Bob Orton. All that and more is going to be headed right at you this week.
This contest is scheduled for one fall. In the ring from Kensington, New York, weighing 235 pounds, Paul Roma. And his opponent, to be led towards the ring by his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan, from Tampa, Florida, weighing 252 pounds, Mr. Wonderful
ever booing this man. Yeah, that they are, you know, but jealousy will get them nowhere. What about that music? When's he going to stop using Hulk music? I'm tired of hearing you complain about it. Well, I can tell you what. Paul Orndorff can play Hulk's music all he wants to, but he's not the man who just last week celebrated 3 years as World Wrestling Federation champion and was duly recognized for it. That's right, McMahon, but I'll tell you something about those 3 years. At certain times of them 3 years, Hogan has handpicked his opponent. He has not faced everyone he should have, in my opinion. That is your opinion. He used to duck me like crazy. I think that stretches the imagination a bit, to say the least. I don't think so. Paul Orndorff. I'd have got cobwebs waiting for a match with Hogan. My hair to turn gray like yours. Orndorff locking up with Roma. 2 really good-looking athletes in there. Oh, they're built. Roma with a shove. Oh, nice shoulder block by Wonderful. Orndorff over right at him, coming back at Roma. Leapfrog by Roma. And back, oh, yeah. Lifted the knee right into the kidney area, and Orndorff is upset. Can you imagine all the female fans' hearts fluttering looking at these 2 McMahons? I'll tell you what, they're going to flutter later on when they see Rick Martel and Tom Zink. That is a sensational set. Will he take your time? Bobby Heenan giving advice to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Heenan earlier on had something to say about Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. We had an occasion to capture some of the words of Mr. Heenan in a pre-recorded comment. Here's what the Brain had to say.
You know, when you talk about Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, I know it. Mr. Wonderful knows it. You humanoids out there know it. He is the uncrowned heavyweight champion of the world.
Uncrowned is right. I got to agree with the McMahon. 3/100 of a second better.
Our wrestling fans in the great state of Maine, this Wednesday night in Portland, the World Wrestling Federation returns to the Cumberland County Civic Center with great stars coming to town, including the Honky Tonk Man, the Killer Bees, Jake the Snake Roberts, and the Junkyard Dog, just among some of the great stars in Portland, Maine, this Wednesday at the Cumberland County Civic Center.
You know, I can't believe I'm sure Tunney will take that off on taxes, Joe. No doubt about that. I'd watch my comments if I were you about Jack Tunney. Right now, Orndorff with an elbow a moment ago. Legal maneuver, but it really caught Roma on the side of the head. Now, come on, referee, get him out of there. That's the kind of competitor Orndorff is. Look at this. Come on, disqualify Orndorff. Disqualify him for being aggressive? That's not being aggressive. Man's in the corner. Had his foot right up on the throat of Roma. Give me a break. And he has a count of 5 to break before disqualification. clothesline. Ooh, he's calling for the pile driver.
Orndorff with Roma. Spins him around, has the head planted down. Roma in the end.
What a pile driver. It's over.
Yes, I'll have to agree with you.
I'll tell you, nobody does a pile driver any more devastating than that man right there, Mr. Wonderful.
Mr. Wonderful is the Mr. Wonderful. Orndorff victorious.
The uncrowned champion.
Oh, look at that. He's really pretending to be Hulk now. Although, give this man credit for being an extraordinary athlete. Let's go back to the replay.
This really stood up for a pile driver. That was an extremely vicious clothesline. And from there, of course, it comes to the pile driver. Nobody does like Orndorff. And lights out for Paul Roma.
Something else indeed, Mr. Wonderful. Paul Orndorff. Let's take you now to the update with Mean Gene.
From the pages of the World Wrestling Federation magazine, here's Update with Gene Okerlund.
There are a number of comparisons in the World Wrestling Federation regarding who is the biggest, the meanest, the toughest in professional wrestling. Two of the biggest have to be 465-pound King Kong Bundy and the Ugandan headhunter Kamala. Let's see him in action.
Whoa! This move.
Good hit team move. No. Avalanche. Covered by Bundy. Kamala on the top rope. Oh, no. SC backing big King Kong Bundy back up to the rope. Gives him a whirl. No, reversal. Look out, there's Bundy. Oh. That's the avalanche. Forget about it.
Biggest, meanest, toughest, maybe we should add outspoken. Certainly Bundy would lead in that category.
You know, everybody's talking about Kamala, the Ugandan headhunter. Well, let me tell you something. Compared to 6'6", 468-pound King Kong Bundy, he ain't nothing. And when you talk about his big splash, when you put that thing up against my avalanche, there's just no comparison. Kamala, you're going to feel what that avalanche is all about.
King Kong Bundy and Kamala. Two big names, two big men. For Update, I'm Gene Okerlund.
Lombardi being introduced in Roma, unfortunately. This guy, are you? Wow! Who does Lombardi think he is?
I'll tell you, that's an aggressive Steve Lombardi.
And his opponent, Roma, from Union City, Tennessee. Roma thrown over the top rope after receiving a pile driver in the preceding match. Birdman, Koko, all right, yeah, the Birdman. I'll bring everybody up. Yeah. And Frankie flying high.
What does it say on the headband? Buckwheat?
No. Look at Frankie flying high. Almost looks like your hair this week, Jesse.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. You know, for a minute when I saw one of those tapes of Outback Jack, I saw that crocodile eat the bird, and I thought it was Frankie. But I guess it wasn't, because there he is with the Birdman.
Frankie, the Birdman. Yes, sir. Lombardi is going to be meeting the Birdman as Frankie takes a ringside seat.
You reckon Koko consults that bird prior to a match, McMahon?
Look at this. Lombardi going right after Koko. Lombardi trying to set up Koko. Whips him. And up. Ooh,
I'll tell you, I've never seen Steve Lombardi this aggressive before.
We at the World Wrestling Federation look forward once again to return to Lowell, Massachusetts on the date of Wednesday, February 4th at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. SD Special Delivery Jones will see action, as will dynamic Pedro Morales. You'll see the Iron Sheik, the Birdman, Koko Beware. A great card coming to Lowell and the Lowell Memorial Auditorium on Wednesday, February 4th.
Receiving end of an Orndorff pile driver. This jerk comes into the ring and takes Paul Roma and throws him over the top rope.
Hey, now how was he to know that? He just came in the ring, saw the guy there, knew he wasn't supposed to wrestle him, and got rid of him.
Dog has his day.
I'll tell you, Koko Beware ain't having his day right now.
A cover, 2, and a kick out by Koko. I'll tell you, Koko is tough.
Koko's tough in there. I'll tell you what he's got to set Lombardi up for if he can get the cobwebs out is that drop kicker here.
Koko Beware in the corner. Koko wrapped head first and down to the canvas.
And right now, Koko has not done a thing since this match started, McMahon. Been all Lombardi.
Yes. Koko, one of the candidates on his way perhaps to WrestleMania, but if he would lose here in this matchup to Lombardi, I think that would knock him right out of it.
Probably, definitely, because, you know, everybody knows that WrestleMania is the place where only the best step into the ring.
Lombardi missing with the elbow.
And that may have saved Koko, without a doubt.
Koko getting himself together. I think Koko's going to get ready to fly. With a right hand, another one. Lombardi in a bit of trouble. Koko backs him to the corner and whips him to the near side. Back out, back by
Big backdrop right there, and the
Koko.
third man flying.
Shooting it all together. Series of left, right. Koko knocking cover now. We get 1, 2, and no.
Lombardi's a top guy. You better knock him out if you're gonna cover him like that.
Off the rope, Koko. Nice maneuver by the Birdman. 2. No, still can't get him.
Lombardi's tough taking that power body slam like that.
Neck breaker. Koko on top of Lombardi again. 2 and no.
Did not get him.
No. What's this? Hangman. Ooh. I don't get him. I can't believe Lombardi is staying in there with Koko.
Well, Lombardi obviously a tough man because he's taking 3 moves right now. That would have stopped a normal individual, that's for sure.
Look at Frankie. I don't think Frankie's too worried. But yet Koko cannot pin Lombardi at the moment. Whips him again. This time. Off the...
There's that drop kick I was talking about before.
Koko can drop kick like no one else. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to fly from the top rope.
I think he'll get him this time.
1, 2, and yes, sir. The Birdman, Koko Beware. Koko Beware, victorious. Yeah, get down, Jesse. Come on, get up and do the bird. Come on, Jesse.
That's for Bruno.
Your hair looks like a bird's nest. I wouldn't be surprised if Frankie would fly right over here and sit right in your hair.
Oh, you're right.
Koko Beware. Let's go back to the replay.
This is one of the most impressive moves you've ever seen. After this neck breaker over here, we see Koko Beware. This is unbelievable. Here he comes. Look at from the top rope. Look at this drop kick. That's right beside the head, Lombardi. And then he comes up with a splash, but Lombardi's going nowhere. He's pissed.
That's indeed Koko Beware. Victorious.
Boston Garden, Saturday night, February 7th. The Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty, against King Kong Bundy. The Rougeaus against the Hart Foundation. Billy Jack Haynes against Bobby the Brain Heenan's Hercules. And you know the feelings that are existing between those two men. The return match, Intercontinental title on the line. The Macho Man Randy Savage against wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino in a lumberjack match. The ring surrounded by wrestlers. If the Macho Man tries to leave this time, he'll be thrown right back in. And among those lumberjacks outside the ring will be none other than Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat. And Ricky, I would imagine that in the Boston Garden, February 7th, the man from the jungles of Samoa Seek will not be the only wrestler on your mind.
Well, that's true, Kenny. I'm going to be a lumberjack, and I'm going to be around that ring. The living legend, Bruno Sammartino, I will tell the fans out there, we've had our talks. We're putting it together. There's no doubt in my mind, Savage, why you sent Sika after me. This wild jungle animal running around. My vulnerable spot on my body is my throat, my neck. And you've made it perfectly clear to all your friendly little wrestlers. When you go after Steamboat, to go after his throat. Well, Sika, you're going to have your hands full. But Savage, better yet, The only way to keep me from being a lumberjack on that night is they drag me out by the stretcher again. But it's not going to happen. I'm going to be there at ringside. I'm going to be a lumberjack. I'm going to watch the living legend, the man that you've been calling a has-been, take you apart bit by bit. And if it so happens you happen to fall out of my way, Savage, don't hold me responsible.
Lombardi came into the ring, and, well, you'll see what he did to Paul Roma. All right, let's go back now to the footage. All right, there, he was in the ring. Roma suffering the consequences of a Paul Orndorff pile driver, and for no reason at all, Lombardi takes Roma, whips him over the top rope. Standing by right now, I believe, the same Steve Lombardi. Let's get a comment from him.
Pull Roma, you ain't nothing. You don't have no right to even set foot in that ring. Take a word of advice from me, Roma. Stay out of my way.
All right, let's go up now for what's going to be a tremendous tag team matchup.
This tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing in the ring, the tag team managed by Mr. Fuji. At a total combined weight of 518 pounds. Introducing first from Kansas City, the ace, Cowboy Bob Orton. And from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, the magnificent Muraco.
Now here's a tag team for you.
Their opponent, at a total combined weight of 469 pounds, here are Tom Zink and Rick Martel, the Pan Am Connection.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
And they're not even waiting for a bell, McMahon.
Look at this. I guess they're not waiting for a bell. The deck is stacked against them. Look who the referee is. That's Danny Davis in there again.
I'm so tired of that. Can't we talk about wrestling for a
Look at
change?
this. Oh, no.
As we mentioned earlier in the telecast, Wednesday, February 4th, the World Wrestling Federation in Lowell, Massachusetts, at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium. A special attraction for outstanding lady wrestlers and tag team action. Also on the bill, the Iron Sheik, Corporal Kirshner, King Kong Bundy, the Stars, the World Wrestling Federation, the Lowell, Massachusetts Auditorium, Wednesday, February 4th.
Rick Martel, one-on-one with Cowboy Bob Orton. Ooh, my.
I'll tell you what, McMahon, this Can-Am Connection, they make moves I've never seen before.
They are sensational. Mr. Fuji, perhaps a little concerned about the Can-Am Connection. Look at that. Here's what Mr. Fuji had to say earlier on.
Martel and Zink, young and handsome boys. But after 2 minutes, you'll be ugly and old. Old and ugly.
Old and ugly after the match? I don't think so. Muraco, whipping march, look at this. Leapfrog, oh yeah. Push the hip.
Wait a minute, was there a tag made? I do not believe there was ever a tag made there.
Davis.
That's why Danny Davis didn't count there. Obviously was not a tag made.
Muraco now with Zink on the receiving end of a knee lift.
Oh. Well, the Can-Am Connection's going to find out real quick how good they really are.
Yes, they certainly are going to do that.
Because Orton and Muraco are awesome.
What a tag. What a team, this Muraco and Orton. And if Zeke and Martel can hang with the likes of Orton and Muraco, they can hang with the best of them. Look at this, flying head scissor. Beautiful maneuver by Thompson.
Another one.
Oh,
Smart move by Bobby Orton. Did you see that?
why didn't Davis disqualify him?
What are you going to do? Disqualify somebody for everything they do in the ring?
Look at this double team. Davis turns his back.
He's getting Martel out of the ring. Why don't you forget about Davis for a minute and concentrate on what's happening in the ring, McMahon?
There is no place in the World Wrestling Federation for a biased official like Davis. Now here again, right before him, he allows this action to take place. Only to move Martel back.
Look, Martel illegally in the ring.
And look, Muraco hammering Martel over the shoulder of Davis just a moment ago.
Whoa, big, what a beautiful move by Orton and Muraco.
A scoop. Zinga slam now. This is getting really out of hand. That's one thing. Wait a minute. Look, oh my goodness. Come on.
It's down to 1-1. Legal tag right there.
This tape, I'm sure, is going to be reviewed by Jack Tunney and other officials in the WWF. Davis's days are numbered, I'm certain, as a referee. They have to be numbered.
Now you see that blatant interference from the outside by Rick Martel.
Look at that. Martel and Dick hammering away on Orton and Muraco.
This match is getting out of control.
Martel and Dick with the upper hand, going at it. Oh, what? Double drop kick. Muraco over the top. Orton over the top as well. Martel and Dick have cleaned the house.
The bell is rung. We'll have to get Danny Davis' official decision here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has disqualified both teams. This match, a double disqualification.
Match got out of control. Double disqualification. Davis had no recourse.
That is the worst case of tag team injustice I've seen in a long time. There are your winners. There's no question about it.
Boston, the Garden, Saturday night, February 7th. After what happened in the Bunkhouse Battle Royal, what a matchup this one should be. 488-pound King Kong Bundy against the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty. The Rougeau brothers against Bret the Hitman Jim, the Anvil, the Hart Foundation. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat now back in action to face the man from the jungles of Samoa, Sika. The main event, the return match for the Intercontinental title. The Macho Man, Randy Savage, to face the challenge of wrestling's living legend, Bruno Sammartino. But the match, a lumberjack match. The ring surrounded by wrestlers. If either man tries to leave the ring, he will be thrown right back in. So here in the Garden, February 7th, there'll be nowhere for the Macho Man to run. And speaking of wars, Billy Jack Haynes, the master of the full Nelson, to face Bobby the Brain Heenan's Hercules and Billy Jack. After all that transpired these past few weeks, I think perhaps the Brain and Hercules may have awakened a sleeping giant in the master of the full Nelson.
Ken, when I get up and conduct the interview, I like to do it very professionally. I don't like to scream and yell. But now it's gotten to the point where it's time to scream and yell. Hernandez, Heenan, okay, I don't know what's up your sleeve, man. I'm in the best shape of my life in pro wrestling because the World Wrestling Federation is where it's at, the top talent in the world. And I know you are, Hercules. Over a 500-pound bench press, I know you're big, I know you're bad. Now, I seen what you did to me in the full Nelson there. You put it on me. I felt your strength. I don't know if I could have broken it or not. I darn near feel like my neck broke. Now, look, I'm the master of the full Nelson for 5 years, Hernandez, Hercules, whatever you want to be called, punk. And I'm telling you, it'll take a back step from nobody. And in the Boston Garden, February 7th, we're going to go toe-to-toe down that road. I don't care where we end up. But if I get that full Nelson on you, Hercules, I swear to you, I'll break your neck with it. I'll break it right in the middle of the ring, punk.
Take you down to the land down under. Outback Jack, who soon is on his way to the WWF. Here now is Outback.
G'day, mate. Good to see you. Outback Jack, down here in Sydney, Australia, on the most beautiful natural harbour in the face of the earth. Behind me over here, you can see the Six Nuns in the scrum, and we've got the big grey coat hanger going over there. There's no worries, mate. This place is absolutely fantastic. This is the home of a dog's eye, mate. You might wonder what a dog's eye is. A dog's eye is a meat pie. Little puff thing of pastry, filled with mincemeat and some other stuff. Over the top, you put some dead horse, which is tomato sauce. You blokes probably call it ketchup or something like that. I don't know. This is the home, and this is where it all started. I'll tell you what I'd love to do. I'd like to get the Hulk, Junkyard Dog, and Hillbilly Jim. They'd be my mates over there. Get them over here, and I'll show them all about the Outback, all about Australia. That'd be great. It'd be wonderful. They'd love it. They'd pop their cork over this, I'll tell you. There's no worries here, mate. I'm Outback Jack.
All right, Outback Jack soon on his way to the World Wrestling Federation. We're ready for the next matchup.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. In the ring from the Mexican coast, weighing 265 pounds, Tommy Sharpe. And his opponent, Elizabeth.
My goodness. Feast your eyes on Elizabeth. Ooh, my feet. Not on Macho Man. On Elizabeth. Where is she? Where's Elizabeth? There she is.
On the rope like she's supposed to.
I'll tell you what. Elizabeth, what?
I'll tell you something, McMahon. Look at that jewelry that Elizabeth has on.
Wait a minute.
Look at that. Look at how nice Macho Man is to buy that woman
goodness.
a piece of jewelry like that.
Macho Man, look at that. Turn across Sharpe. Across the back. My, oh, come on. It's right out in the fans. I can't believe that. Macho Man Randy Savage. Bringing back Tommy Sharpe. He is just all over him. That's the kind of tenaciousness you can expect from the Macho Man.
Well, you know what I bet you happened, McMahon? I'll bet you he said something derogatory to Elizabeth. I'll just bet.
Macho Man from the top rope.
I think the most devastating move in wrestling right there.
Oh, wow. The Macho Man, Randy Savage.
You know, McMahon, he might well be my favorite wrestler.
Well, there's no question. He is destined for WrestleMania.
Oh, without a doubt, the Macho Man will be at WrestleMania.
With sunglasses and a headband.
I'm impressed.
I didn't see enough of Elizabeth myself. All right, back to the
totally destroyed the thumbs up, but when he came off the top rope, he really came on hard and heavy, and of course, once he got done, look at the arrogance on the way he pinned Thumb Sharpe.
The Macho Man, victorious, as we take you now to Roddy Piper and Piper's Pit.
And now, Roddy Piper.
In the beginning because I washed my hair. That's the deal. We have a real special pit again this week, as you can see, starting this year off right. We had an exceptional one last week, and without further ado, I'd like to again bring out the president of the WWF, Mr. Jack Tunney, to come out and please present this special award. Mr. Jack Tunney.
Thank you very much, Roddy. We're very pleased to honor another extraordinary WWF hero. I'll read what's on the trophy. This man is the all-time greatest athlete in the history of wrestling. This man is the only undefeated wrestler in the WWF history. Please join me in saluting the one and only André the Giant.
Prestigious award, as you are very deservedly so. You are a tremendous athlete, and I am proud to be part of giving you this award. I'm sure that you must have some things to say to your many, many fans.
Well, yeah. I got only one thing to say.
I'm more excited about this, I think, than you are, Andre. You know, this is about time, man, that they recognize the greatest athlete of all time. Not only is he undefeated, man, André the Giant is the greatest role model. When I had to pattern myself, I wanted to be like André. His sense of fair play, the sportsmanship, the way all over the world he's been kind to all the little kids. André the Giant is number one in WWF. I'd like to thank you for recognizing in my book the real champion of superstars all over the world. That's André. I'm sure that that's the biggest package of modesty you'll ever see. How about for André? That's great. All right, André.
folks, here we are, baby. The King Heartbreak Hotel Restaurant. You know, Elvis Presley's own special cook here. All the special meals, man. Good old Southern food, Daddy.
Oh, mercy, I like that, Colonel Jimmy. I just can't wait because I know it won't be very long before the honky-tonk man will have his own restaurant, and all the fine fans in the WWF, those people that stood behind me, they sent in the cards and letters. They gave me that vote of confidence. They're going to be eating at my restaurant. You know what I think I'll have on the menu?
What's that, baby?
I think I'll have honky burgers. Honky burgers! I love honky burgers!
Honky burgers, indeed.
The following is the tag team representative scheduled for one fall. May I introduce to my left the tag team combination managed by the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. At a total combined weight of 522 pounds, the Hitman Bret Hart, the Anvil Jim Neidhart, the Hart Foundation. Their opponent at a total combined weight of 473
Did you just see Danny Davis patting Bret Hart on the shoulder?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, I did.
And his partner from Auckland, New Zealand, Tony Garea.
Scott McGhee and Tony Garea.
McMahon, I think Danny Davis is getting to you too much. I think you're seeing things. I think you're imagining things.
Yeah, it could very well be. I could imagine he's a good referee, an unbiased one, an impartial one, but I don't. No sense of humor. Look at that. Bret Hart taking Scott McGhee down to his knees moments ago. Scott whipping off Bret Hart. Hart over him. Right back at him now. No, Scott McGhee. Nicely done. Arm drag takedown by Scotty. Another one. Scott McGhee. One of the top wrestlers in the WWF tag right now to Tony Garea. Bret Hart cutting off Tony Garea right to the face. Garea to the foot of the Anvil. You talk about the tough wrestlers in the WWF. The Anvil right at the top of the list.
That's right. And Garea made a mistake. He's caught in the corner now, and that's where the Harts are the deadliest, without a doubt.
I wonder if you'd care to comment on what we're going to see here in a moment, because we're going to see certainly an unbiased view of the Hart Foundation. And here it is coming right at you, Jesse. Take a look at this.
I'm looking.
Where is it? That was Matilda. Of course, the Bulldog, Davey Boy, Dynamite, their mascot, and Matilda doesn't like the Hart Foundation at all.
Well, I don't imagine the Hart Foundation likes Matilda. Tell me, is Matilda house trained?
How would I know?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Another reminder, in Portland, Maine, comes the World Wrestling Federation this Wednesday night to the Cumberland County Civic Center. On the card, in addition to whom we mentioned earlier, SD Special Delivery Jones, you'll see Tito Santana, and a man who calls himself quite aptly the King of Professional Wrestling. The World Wrestling Federation in Portland, Maine, this Wednesday night at the Cumberland County Civic Center.
A little slow getting down there.
Now, what purpose did McGhee have for going over and hitting Neidhart outside the ring there?
Certainly was looked quite impressive, I thought.
Yeah, and then you wonder why double teaming goes on. I mean, if I was on that apron and the guy hit me, I'd be back in that ring. Beautiful move by Bret Hart.
You talk about looking impressive, though.
Wham!
What'd you think of Andre standing next to Hogan earlier on this week?
I'll tell you, I still am amazed, McMahon, on how big André the Giant is. I mean, Hulk Hogan's a huge man. What, 6'7", 300 and some odd pounds? And next to André the Giant, to me, he looks like he's 6 feet, 200 pounds.
Look at that maneuver. Double team. Referee spinning. Davis, the fast count and a 1-2-3.
Fast count?
Yes, that was a fast count.
I'm tired of hearing about that.
I'm tired of seeing Danny Davis. Real tired. Look at that. Jimmy Hart. Look here. Fired off by the Hart Foundation.
Impressive tag team right there.
All right, let's go back to the replay. Bruno, take a look at it if you will.
As we've seen it so many times before, the most devastating coastline in professional wrestling today. And here is delivered by Bret Hart. And once connected, forget about it. You have a pin there, more than a pin, probably some more injuries.
All right, the Hart Foundation. Oh, no, we have to look at that. Look at Jimmy Hart. Is he ever proud? An background, Danny Davis, the #1 fan.
Scheduled for one fall. Introducing first to my right at a total combined weight of 771 pounds. From parts unknown, the Gladiator. From the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, Jimmy Jack Funk. And from Houston, Texas, the Outlaw, Ron Bass. Their opponent, at a total combined weight of 768 pounds, introducing first, Golden Boy Danny Spivey and Mike Rotundo, the U.S. Express. And their partner from Eagle Pass, Texas, Blackjack Mulligan.
What a roar for big old Blackjack. I'll tell you what, though, I think Outlaw Ron Bass is just about as big. I'll tell you like that.
That's right. Outlaw Ron Bass is a big, big man. And the thing that I want to know is, Mulligan, does he ever take off and wash them red underwear, McMahon?
I wouldn't know the answer to that any more than I would know the answer about Matilda being house trained, Jesse.
Well, I thought you knew everything.
I know one thing. That hairdo you have is most unbecoming this week.
McMahon, I told you why I got that. I got to hide from all the women that chase me down the street because I'm a movie star. Now just leave that alone and let's get to wrestling.
Danny Spivey winding up Jimmy Jack Funk. Your impressions, let me ask you a question. I'm not the one that's supposed to know everything. You are, Jesse. What about this big investigation? What about this detailed investigative reporting we were going to get from Jesse the Body Ventura concerning the Andre reinstatement and all of that? Where is it? You haven't said one word about that.
It's coming, McMahon. A big, big surprise is coming. My investigation has led me to a huge surprise, which I will get to. I'll tell you right now, I will get to it next week. I will come across with something as powerful as you've ever seen next week, and I'll tell you where I might just do it. In Piper's Pit.
What?
In Piper's Pit. I'm going to let you know, I'm going to let you and everyone else in on something. Next week, McMahon, you won't get another word out of me about it, though, till next week. Now let's get to wrestling.
Ron Bass hammering away. On Mike Rotundo, here's what big old Outlaw Ron Bass had to say earlier on about this six-man tag team matchup. I believe in particular his efforts concerning Blackjack Mulligan.
You're looking at the meanest, the baddest, the biggest, the most honorary Texan that there ever was. And Mulligan, Blackjack, I'm talking to you. You're
Ooh,
nothing.
he's blunt right to the point, ain't he?
I think that's isn't he?
Pardon me? No. McMahon, you're bothering me this week here.
I beg your pardon, Jesse. I'm very anxious to hear of your report next week. Your unbiased report.
You'll get it. You'll get it. Don't sweat it. I know I got a secret, like I said. I'm going to come out with it next week, and you, Bruno, and everybody will just have to hold your breath.
You probably will make about as much sense as Matilda did earlier on when we heard from her in the Hart Foundation match.
Oh, you should be a comedian, too. Who writes your stuff?
Tag is made for Jimmy Jack Funk in now. And Funk and Ron Bass doing quite well for themselves thus far in the six-man matchup.
Definitely the U.S. Express.
Oh, my! Gets him down! And no, sir. A little slow on the count. Count of two. Rotundo cut off there by Jimmy Jack Funk.
Look at them ugly clothes that Mulligan wears.
Mulligan
Imagine having to walk the street looking like that.
If Mulligan gets in this match, he's going to clean. Ooh!
Yeah, here comes Mulligan in illegally.
Mulligan issued out by the referee. Ron Bass over there. The Outlaw going to work on Mike Rotundo. Rotundo to the ropes. The Outlaw sets him up for Jimmy Jack to take a drop kick. Blackjack with the Gladiator. Look out! Elbow with a knock over a freight The winners of this contest, the team of the U.S. Express and Blackjack Mulligan.
Well, I'll tell you what, when Mulligan was tagged in, he wreaked havoc. He was like a freight train. Look at fast now, going to square off. Blackjack Mulligan. Mulligan who's leaving the ring first.
That's right. I don't think Mulligan wants nothing to do with Outlaw Ron Bass.
Boston Garden, Saturday night, February 7th. King Kong Bundy against the Duke of Dorchester. The Rougeaus against the Hart Foundation. Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat against Sika from the jungles of Samoa. Billy Jack Haynes against Bobby, the Brain Heenan's Hercules. But the one everyone seems to be waiting for, the Intercontinental title rematch. The Macho Man Randy Savage against wrestling's own living legend, Bruno Sammartino. The match, a lumberjack match. The ring surrounded by wrestlers. If either man tries to leave or is thrown out, he'll be tossed right back in. And I'm sure Macho Man Randy Savage, you listened very intently a bit earlier when one of the lumberjacks around the ring, none other than Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat, talked about being positioned there and talked about his conversations with one Bruno Sammartino.
You know, I was wondering what the old man was thinking, you know, getting into a lumberjack with the greatest athlete that the world has ever known, and the Macho Man Randy Savage, Bruno Sammartino. How about it? Couldn't swallow the fact, could you? That you're a has-been, that you're an old man, that you couldn't tie my shoes in your prime. So he puts the Dragon on the outside. Wrestlers all around the ring. But I know that in one of those wrestlers, in a particular case, the man with vindictive emotion. He wants to get his hands on the Macho Man Randy Savage, but he's not going to, man.
It sounds like
I'm going to send the old man out the ring 22 times. Yes. In the Boston Gardens. In the Boston Gardens, which I made famous when I took the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship belt a long time ago. I'm going to take the living legend, Mr. Cheap Shot, and I'm going to teach him a lesson.
It sounds like, perhaps from what Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had to say, perhaps wrestling's living legend may be planning to make sure you are thrown out in the direction of this dragon.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. He's got to be thinking something. Because there's no way possible that any person could ever think that anyone could stand a chance against the Macho Man Randy Savage. And that's a fact, man. That's a fact. And in the Boston Gardens, I'm going to show everybody that, yeah, I want the whole world to concentrate on what the old man does, yeah. Because I'm going to take you, Bruno Sammartino, and I'm going to devour you. I'm going to paint a picture that you will not believe. A picture's worth 1,000 words. And the Dragon on the outside of the ring. At the end of the match, I'm going to let him breathe some fire in. And then I'm going to burn the Dragon. And I'm going to take you, old man, and make you swallow the fact that I'm the best that ever was.
Wrestling, you'll see, ladies and gentlemen, the man who calls himself the King. Harley Race will join us. Also, what a tag team matchup we'll see with the fabulous Rougeau brothers. And then Jake the Snake Roberts with Damien, or one of his snakes, no doubt, will join us as well. And then a special one-on-one competition. It'll be Greg the Hammer Valentine to face one of the Islanders, Haku, one-on-one. And then we will have tag team competition. Tito Santana and Pedro Morales team up once again, this time to face, yes, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. And perhaps Jesse Ventura in Piper's Pit. I say perhaps. So long, everybody. Till next week.